Perfect. And we are live.
What's going on, people? What's going on, people? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, man. This right here is the new hot podcast in Baltimore City, sports related only, and we're gonna fill you in with some good stuff. It's your boy Fox Savage, and of course, we got Big Brother Bruce in the background.
Yes,
Doing
sir.
welcome to the new hit show, TLN Sports, baby. You feel me? We're gonna rock off good. We're gonna rock off well. We promise not to let you down when it comes to these topics. We promise not to let you down when it comes to the commentary and content that we're gonna bring to this table. This is new here, and we're excited to do this. So, without further ado, I'm Big Fox. That's Big Brother Bruce. Go and let the people know what's up, Big Bruce, and how you feeling.
What up? What up? What up, everybody? It's your boy Bruce McFly. You might have seen me before on the Level Podcast or just streaming on Twitch, but you know we over here building a brand. Why I'm talking about the Level Main Podcast. You can check that out every Sunday live on Twitch and YT at 11:30 a.m. Uh, but this is our sports venture right here. This is unbiased sports talk. We talk all sports. And I mean, we are fans of certain teams, but we don't drink that team's Kool-Aid. Pause. So without further ado, let's kick off the topics of the day. Um, because this is our pilot, I'm not gonna read all the topics off like doing this part. We're gonna go one at a time and see if y'all feeling it. The first topic my man Fox got for us today is protecting players from fans. Um, last weekend, opening weekend of football of the football season, a fan during the Ravens and Bills game pushed or slapped DeAndre Hopkins in his helmet, and then proceeded to slap Lamar Jackson in his helmet. Lamar Jackson retaliated, which I think was in his right, but we'll get into that. Fox, give me some insight on things, bro.
All right, so the reason why I came up with this topic because enough is enough. I'm tired of seeing our players and some of our favorite players get disrespected all the time by fans. First of all, I want to say this. 10 times out of 10, if you've seen any of these athletes in person, you would want their autograph. Another 10 times out of 10, if you've seen them in person, you wouldn't even say that to them because these guys are huge figures. Majority of these athletes, they work out on a daily basis. So they way
Mhm.
bigger than you, way more physical you in the first place. So I feel like it's mad disrespect that you get to hide behind the bleachers, run your mouth, and say whatever you want to say, and then on top of that, you putting your hands on people, which is mad crazy. And I
Right.
feel a certain type of way about it because it's like this. If Russell Wilson or Russell Westbrook or whoever put their hands on you, now our favorite players about to get this hefty fine, probably about get suspended and all this type of things, and get looked at as a bad name, probably even mess up their brand, mess up their pockets, and this, that, and the third. So I came up with this new thing because Russell Westbrook made a big complaint about it a couple years ago when he was on the Rockets. The first game of the season, the Eagles, one of the fans was out there doing an intro and ran out with the team. And I'm like, where's security at? How did he even get on the field to do things like that? So to me, one of the things that I came up with, one, you should be barred for life with any type of disrespect by putting your hands on the players. Two, you should be go to jail and you should pay the same type of fine that these NFL players or NBA players should have to pay. And I even came up with this, bro. You're gonna like this. I said, for now on, When any fan buys a ticket, at the bottom of your ticket, it should have in that fine print. If you do anything to players, far as touching and throwing or putting anything on the field or doing anything that can cause a disruption to the game, you should be automatically banned, pay a fine, and do jail time. That's what I gotta say about that.
You killed that. Like the only thing you missing is public execution and or flogging or whatever we talking about. But um my thing real my I guess pushback or question I want to ask, I wrote it down. I just want to make sure. Um First of all, do you think it should be well, you just said zero. I lost my train of thought. I'll just kick it off. Do you think it's more of a fan, I guess, situation where we just zero in on the fans, or should it be a little bit more player restraint? Because no one wants another Malice in the Palace. I
Mhm,
mean, no one wants that, even though I side with the players in this. I
mhm,
mean, but I just want to see things on the other side and give the other side, the fan, or no, not the fan. It's not the fan. It's the fanatic. Give them a say in this. So it's hard for me to play, I guess, defense attorney, but that's what I'm gonna do,
mhm.
just for the sake of debate.
Okay.
What say you?
Well, for me, like I said, it's already first of all, I want people to know how because I actually play sports. I'm on a sports team currently right now, and I've been
Hmm.
playing semi-pro and arena basically my whole adult
Shout
life.
your team out. Shout your team
Oh,
out, man, so they
uh,
know.
Team Smoke is my flag football team. We're a traveling team. We play every Sunday, and we also travel and go to different places when it's time to play. Shout out to the Baltimore Avengers, my arena football team that actually really put me on the map.
Yes, sir.
But what I was going to say is, it's like this. You ever had to do a speech in front of a whole bunch of people?
Yes.
That's that's nerve wracking. You can be nervous at your highest degree. Now you can see how nervous you. Now you're talking about playing a sport where people want you to be consistent. You got fans
Hmm.
rooting for you to be consistent, teams rooting for you to be consistent, and all that. So you already got to deal with people talking about your mother. You got to
Right.
do. You remember what happened with Geno Smith that just happened in the preseason? People talking
Oh
about him.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So you got to deal with all that on a regular. That's a
Yep.
lot on the mental. That is a lot on the mental. So you already got to deal with all that. So I can handle the trash talk. I can handle you saying, Maurice, you caught the game winning catch on me, but you dropped the game winning touchdown in the Super Bowl. I can handle all that. But when it gets
Hmm.
to the part where you putting your hands on me, you throwing stuff on the field because things are not going your way. I mean, we saw what happened. DeAndre Hopkins got hit because he scored a touchdown. So that means things
Hmm.
was not going the Bills fan way. So to me, I just feel like this. You can talk trash. You can say whatever you want. You should leave everything between the lines, whether it's baseball field, basketball field, football field. Leave it right there between the lines. I don't like the overexert. Like prime example, Bruce, and I don't want to really use your example, but Bruce, if you busting my ass, I'm not gonna bring up. Well, at least your wife's divorcing you. That's not. You see what I'm
Right,
saying? That's not.
right, right, right.
So I feel like this. Talk trash. Say whatever you guys say about the team. Trust me, that shit be on people's mind a lot because they nervous playing these games, so they want to play good all the time. So you talking trash is already enough. But the whole physical part, I don't like because as soon as one of them NBA players or NFL players hit you back, they got the highest fine and suspensions, and that's not fair. It should go both ways.
Let me ask you this. Where's the line? Where is the line between passion and crossing boundaries, I guess? Like what is acceptable and what isn't when it comes to like, okay, example, college basketball, a upset happens.
Hmm.
Everybody rushes the court.
Hmm.
Football, they tear down the uprights, rush the field.
Hmm.
That can remember that time when Caitlin Clark played in college. She still played in college, and the fans rushed the court, and somebody hit her. I think was it.
Yeah. You're right.
So, what is the line of acceptable and and unacceptable? I mean,
Okay, I'm gonna use the only thing I could do is use me for a prime example, and it's gonna be a good
gotcha.
one. I do not like LeBron James. I want to make this clear. I do not look like LeBron James. However, I know LeBron James' greatness. I know
Right.
that he's a great player. I see what he do. The reason why I don't like LeBron James because of what he does to my Celtics. So that's why I'm
Right.
saying it. And for a guy who says I do not like LeBron, you will never see me run out on there and try to hurt this guy. You will never see me out there try to do this, that, and the third. Some people have to really realize this is a sport at the end of the day. These are
Right.
really people jobs. No matter, I don't care if you're a diehard Ravens fan or a diehard Giants fan. At the end of the day, these are jobs. And just so happen they got some of the greatest jobs in the world where you get to play a sport and get paid for it. So I
Mhm.
think like this: cheer for your team, be a diehard person for your team, be a diehard fan for your team, but don't die for your team.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. This way where we might disagree on, but you might find it funny. I always find it funny when I see somebody with a tattoo of their favorite team. I always
Oh,
find it funny.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
you see.
agree.
So, I love my teams, but you're
Mhm.
never going to see me get any of that championships on me.
Right.
Like my favorite player, anything like that. So I want to say like this: support your team, but
Right.
don't actually try to be the team. Don't actually try to be like you're one of the general managers. And a lot of
Right.
times, fans, y'all think y'all coaches. Y'all think y'all could do more and add more with the players and with the coaches talking about, and you just can't because if you could, you would actually be playing. So I feel like the line is you could be a diehard fan. But don't go to the over extreme where I would never do this. I would never, if the Ravens was to ever beat the Giants, bro, man, you ain't gonna never fight. It's just gonna be
Right.
I don't
Right.
get it. People fighting at games, people
Right. Right.
over the top joints and all that. So I mean, love your team, but don't die for your team. When they say be a diehard fan, they're not really saying die for the Dallas Cowboys, die for the
Right.
Washington Commanders. They just saying stick by your team and don't betray them. You feel me? Be loyal.
That's some real spill because I mean, most of my day while I'm at work driving and I'm listening to the radio, I either listen to one or two things: sports talk, radio, or podcast, whatever. I'm just listen. I like listening to people talk about things and things that open up conversation and make you think. So, with that being said, on Sports Talk Radio, I hear a lot of Baltimore Ravens fans and Baltimore Orioles fans calling all day, very passionate. Like fans like me that are even killed, can see reality,
Mm-hmm.
all of that, and ones that are fanatics that go crazy, that think they know more than Coach Harbaugh. Now, don't get me wrong, I can't stand that dude right now. I know that's our next topic, a great segue. But right now, I can't stand him. But I would never be the type of person that emails that man or death threats or throwing any batteries on the field, anything. Like I can be angry in the comfort of my own home and that'll be it. I'll just be mad until he leaves. I'm not spilling out, running on the field, trying to hurt somebody. Even though that's the extreme of this conversation, it's
Mm-hmm.
still goofy behavior to me. Like, why even do that? So, everything you said, I can't even debate you because I agree with everything you said. I was just trying to let me see this through the eyes of a goofy.
You
That's
did.
what I was trying.
Hey, and you're right, bro, because there's really people out there who think the opposite of what we think and think that's the right
Right.
way to go and think this, that, and the third. Nah,
Nah. So you want to stay here, or we can segue into the who's really to blame for the Ravens blown leads. Are you ready for that yet, or you want
I mean,
to?
yeah, we can get in there because you got the Baltimore hat on, and I definitely want to hear what you guys say about your team. So, yeah,
Okay. First and foremost, for anybody that don't know me, anybody watching live, or anybody that will watch this in the future, I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. We will have a segment where we tell you what teams we are fans of in the future. But for right now, this conversation, we're going to talk about who's really to blame for the Baltimore Ravens blown leads. Um, John Harbaugh has been our coach. Well, our as in Baltimore Ravens fans and the Ravens team since I want to say '07, '08 maybe, something like that. He's been in the hot seat twice already. Once before we won the Super Bowl in 2012, it took a Ray Lewis, I'm about to retire, and Joe Flacco to go on a Hall of Fame playoff run in order to save his job the first time. The second time he was in the hot seat It was the year Flacco got hurt and the reins got turned over to Lamar Jackson. He
Mhm.
saved that man's job. I mean, because the league has never seen anything like Lamar Jackson. He's like Michael Vick on turbo. You feel me? So that happened, saved his job. Now we're to this point where Lamar Jackson, Sunday Night Football, basically had a perfect game. We saw two cracks in the Ravens team. One we saw last year was the defense. The defense has been a problem since Zach Orr has been our defensive coordinator. Mike McDonald, I'm jumping the shark here, but Mike McDonald should have been our coach. John Harbaugh should have been gone before Mike McDonald dipped out of here. He should have been the coach and waiting. They should have set something up for Mike McDonald to take over. But anyway, that ship has sailed. Zach Orr became our defensive coordinator because I think he's a yes man to John Harbaugh. We had other dudes that were more, I guess, qualified to be the defensive coordinator, but they were let to go elsewhere. And we got Zach Orr. No disrespect to the man as a person, no disrespect to the man as a man, but his football coaching skills are lacking. They keep having to bring someone in to assist this man. I mean, last year it was Dean Pease. This
Mm.
year is the name escapes me. I'll get to it, but y'all guys know it. Another thing you're gonna learn about me, I got a bad memory. So Fox, you're gonna have to help me here every now and then.
Hey, not a problem. Hey, man, it comes with it. You're gonna have to help me as well. It comes with
I
it, bro.
got you, no doubt. So I'm making sure nobody put it in the chat. Yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, so we're here. Lamar basically had a perfect game,
Hmm.
and I don't care what anyone says. We played. We played cover six or something. Like, it was some type of prevent. We played. I hate prevent. The only thing it does is prevent you from winning the game.
Mm.
So it kills me. Like, it's so much I want to say. If this show would have started Monday morning, I told Fox I would have been nuclear. But
Mm.
I've days have passed. I've even called in the radio already. So I've gotten a lot out of my system, but I'm angry. I want this guy to go. They got a one of those little things you can sign a petition right now up for fire John Harbaugh. I'm on the Ravens community on X. We're all in there, fire Harbaugh. So it's a movement right now. I never want a man to lose his job and not be able to feed his family. But John Harbaugh done stole a lot of money from the Baltimore Ravens organization, so he should be good. Fox, I hand it over to you.
Hey, man, a lot of things that you said, I
Real
definitely
quick,
agree with.
one more thing. I just want to make sure you know because I don't think I answered the question. John Harbaugh is the blame for the Ravens' blown leads. That's it. I just wanted to make sure I got that
Oh,
out.
I ain't mad at that answer. So for me, I have mixed emotions and mixed answers about it. One, you do have to blame the coach. He's the one calling the plays. He's the one not calling the right plays at the right moment. Prime example with the John Harbaugh, you went for it a lot of times last year on fourth down. This year, you had a chance to close out this game against the Bills, and it was 4th and 3, and you punted, which actually helped the Bills get back in the game. So I gotta give you credit on what you're talking about, bro. When it comes down to Zach or the play calls that he's calling, and the same thing for John Harbaugh. I gotta blame those guys for the plays that they calling and when they calling those plays. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like a lot of games we lost, especially. Well, I should keep saying we because the reason why I say we, so everybody know, I pick the same Super Bowl every year, Giants versus the Ravens. So that's why I say we. But even with last year, it was a couple times he went for it on fourth down and they didn't get it. For years, he's been going for it on fourth down and not getting them key fourth downs and this, that, and the third, and relying on that Ravens defense. Now, just to help them a little bit. I feel like Zach, or you're calling those type of defensive plays because you feel like you have the personnel out there to complete what you're asking for. Now that's not working. When you see that's not working, that's when you change it. Now that I blame the coaches for everything they did, play calling, not having the right personnel in, going forward on wrong downs, and this, that, and the third. Well, I will say is this, and I'm gonna name a couple things. John Harbaugh called a play last year to get a ball to Mark Andrews. Who told Mark Andrews to do all that shaking moves and then he fumbled against the Bills? That's not on the coach. When he threw the game winning, it was the game winning touchdown to Mark Andrews and he dropped it. That's not on the coach. The only thing that I will blame on John Harbaugh about that, they called that play. They showed. I seen a little clip about it last year when the season was over. That same route that Mark Andrews dropped the ball, the Ravens ran that play 4 times before that, and the same result happened every single time. You probably don't remember. Remember, they tried to do it against the Steelers, and he overthrew Mark Andrews, and everybody was like, Mark Andrews could have caught that. He couldn't have caught that because the pressure was on him. My point is, John Harbaugh, you called that play 4 times last year, and you 0-4 with that play. So I got to get on you for that. But I also got to be like, Mark Andrews, you're supposed to be looked at as one of the top 5 tight ends in the league. You got to catch them passes. You shouldn't. You more of a running a tight end that runs people over. You shouldn't have been shaking no cornerbacks, no DBs. They poked the ball out, fumble. Another thing I gotta say, the game was when I saw last week when we saw the game when I seen Derrick Henry get the handoff. Everybody that was watching like, okay, he about to get some more yards. They probably about to run the clock and that's over. And he fumbles. It was a strange fumble. It had me thinking that the ball was hot the way it dropped out his hands. It wasn't like he got fumbled and somebody knocked it out his hand or nothing like that. It looked like a clear drop. You can't blame him for that. Another thing I want to say when I say it's on the players, if anybody that's watching this, please fact check me on this. But I know for a fact the Ravens have the worst wide receiver core out the whole entire league. I believe after Zay Flowers, I don't trust in Rashard Bateman. Rashard Bateman is showing you who he is. He injured every year, and he's only giving you about 700 plus yards receiving. And then this is 2 straight games where I seen this dude in big games only had 2 catches. Now, come on, now everybody else second string wide receiver and third string wide receiver.
Fox, I have to cut you off. I'll try my best to never do this a lot unless we straight debating about something.
Yeah,
But the Baltimore Ravens do not have the worst receiving core out of all 32 teams in the league. I can go off top of my head and say the Indianapolis Colts receiving core is worse than the Ravens. And that's
I,
without me even
hold
thinking
on,
that.
matter of fact,
The Jacksonville Jaguars, the Carolina Panthers. We can keep going, bro.
hold on. I had to take the Jacksonville Jaguars. I take that back. I ain't gonna lie. I would take Travis Hunter and their number 1 wide receiver that was a rookie last year who went over 1,000. I would take
Right now, you would take Travis Hunter over Zay Flowers.
No, I would take Travis Hunter. No, 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 no. Matter of fact, I'm saying it wrong. This is what I mean. What I'm gonna say.
Mm,
I will take Travis Hunter over Rashard Bateman. I would.
okay.
Yeah, that I should have more said it like that. It's like
Mm,
the reason why I said the Ravens, as far as with the wide receiver core is the worst. When you look at the history of the Baltimore Ravens, their best wide receiver who consistently went over 1,000 yards was Derek Mason.
mm-hmm.
Anquan Bolden came here, didn't go over 1,000 yards one time. Steve Smith, you already know, for some reason the Baltimore Ravens always get these old wide receivers. Mike Wallace, I didn't see him do anything major when he was here. Torrey Smith only went over 1,000 yards one time as the number 1
What about
receiver.
Hollywood Brown? Did
Holly
he? I
Hollywood
can't
Brown,
remember. I had to look it up.
I think he did go over 1,000 yards, but guess what his problem was? He was always dropping passes for the Ravens, and we just saw that in the first game of the season with the Chiefs. He dropped like 4 passes in that game. The whole
Somebody in the comments said your team has the worst receiving core, the Giants.
We hold on, listen. We got something in common. Think about
Mm.
it. Darius Slayton, and I can't disagree. Whoa. We on the same level as the Ravens. Hold on, I
Okay.
want to be clear. We're on the same level as the Ravens. We're on
All
the same
right.
level as the Ravens. Because check this out. It's Malik Neighbors and Zay Flowers. And then after that, on the wide receiver core for both teams, you don't like none of them. I don't like Darius Slay. Even Wendell Robinson. I'm gonna tell you a funny stat. Wendell Robinson had 91 plus catches and was nowhere near 1,000 yards receiving. That's trash to me. How you got 91 catches and you're not close to 1,000 yards? With everything you're catching is 2-yard passes. So I'm whoever said that, I'm gonna agree with that because Darius Slayton and Rashard Bateman is the same people. Malik Neighbors and Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers the only one who had a 143 out of everybody last year. I mean, everybody last weekend. So I'm saying this more on that level. But here goes my point. They have that bad wide receiver core, and I call Lamar Jackson the best player in the league. That go to show you how good and talented he is. And if he had some help with a better wide receiver, something like that, we already know what he'd do. But back to what we was talking about when I say who's to blame, I'm blaming the coaches for the personnel personnel they having out there. I'm blaming the coaches and the recruiting staff for not getting anybody else to help Lamar Jackson out. Because I know y'all get tired of saying this. Lamar Jackson in the backfield shaking 50 dudes just to make a long pass down the hill. You like, what happened to everybody else in the league who can throw it to a wide receiver on a quick slam or a quick out or something like that? You don't see nobody else really be getting open for real for the Baltimore Ravens. As if you go look at his numbers, you playing against a good team, the Buffalo Bills. Rashad Bateman had 2 catches for 5 yards. Mark Andrews, so you always want to rely on the tight end. Mark Andrews, I think Mark Andrews probably had 1 catch, maybe 2, and so things like that. So I gotta blame the Ravens overall organization for not getting the right players in there to help Lamar Jackson. I mean, it's like the Ravens. I say we because I support them. It's like you're putting everything on Lamar Jackson. The defense hasn't got better since Ray Lewis. Nobody's fears the Ravens defense. Now we do have those little games where the stats are misleading, but it's no reason why the Ravens defense shouldn't be still doing what they was doing with Ray Lewis. And what I mean is, prime example with the Steelers, all those guys are gone. The Joey Porters are gone. The Ike Taylors and all those players are gone. But what the Steelers continue to do was continue to build around that defense. They say, hey, man, we may not find another Ben Roethlisberger. And you see how long it took the Steelers to find a quarterback. They say, but you ain't going to do that to our defense. One thing I can say about the Steelers, I don't like them at all. But that defense comes to play no matter who they got no matter who they got out there. That defense always keep their teams in the game. And that go to my point. I'll go with my bad.
I want, after you done, make sure you look at the YouTube comments because you got some things that my man is, I guess, checking you on. So he wants to. I mean, finish your statement. I just want you to see the YouTube comments.
Okay, I got you. All right. But yeah, basically, like I was saying, when it comes down to it, I blame both parties. I blame, like I said, Harbaugh going for it on downs. He shouldn't have been going for it. I blame him for not going for it on 4th and 3 last week. That probably would have sealed the deal. I'm blaming the players. You can't be lackadaisical. You up by 2+ touchdowns. What you keep on saying? Well, if we give up this touchdown, Lamar Jackson gonna have our back. That's not right. You supposed to do your job. You up by 2 touchdowns. Even when Derrick Henry fumbled, the defense was supposed to turn it up and get the ball back. But what happened? They came back. They blowing leads ridiculously. And one thing I would say this: when it comes to blowing leads, I'm blaming everybody. I'm blaming the coaches for what they calling, and then I'm blaming the actual players who are out there. Like if I tell you you in cover 2, but you playing cover 3, and we give up a touchdown, is that on the coach? That's on the player. That's not
Yes,
known.
it is. You know why? Because it's poor execution of what you teaching. If you're a coach, he's supposed to be a leader of men. We keep cycling out the offensive coordinators and the defensive coordinators, but the one thing that has remained the same is John Harbaugh. His I guess his words are getting stale. I mean, these young dudes aren't listening to him. Mike McDonald should be our coach. And I want to just go back to something someone said. I have to scroll back for a second because I think they say it was the right call for us to punt. Josh Allen was not stopped that whole game.
Thank you.
You have to live and die. You have to die on your shield, pretty much. You go for that. 4th and 2, 4th and 3, you go for that. If you don't get it, they score real quick and you get a chance to you get a chance to go march back up the field. Man, John Harbaugh needs to go. But I understand what you're saying. But right now, I'm real stubborn. I've seen this play out year after year after year. We're wasting Lamar Jackson's prime right now. We're wasting it. We
Yeah.
need someone else to lead the army. You dig? If you want to go over some of those questions real quick or some of the responses in the chat, reply to them.
I'm trying to
Oh,
look
I
at.
mean, I can give you some.
Go
I
ahead, go
guess
ahead.
some of the stuff you was talking about, you already responded to the Giants having the worst receiving core. You responded to that. Chris also said Hollywood was over 1,000 receiving yards.
Yeah, one time I said that he was
Mm,
one, and it was
hold up.
barely over 1,000. I remember he had like a
Okay.
1,035 or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Chris also said Ravens don't throw the ball because we are usually in positive game script. Oh, you mean we usually playing with the lead? That's what you mean, Chris?
And I want
Y'all professional football guys can explain that to me.
and I want to make sure to everybody and I just want to make sure because everything I'm saying, right? I mean,
Mhm,
there's some facts, there are a lot of facts in there. I'm not speaking on no opinion. I'm speaking on facts that I saw. Prime example. We all can agree with this. Derrick Henry had what more catches than any other wide receiver. He had more catches than all the wide receivers, I think, except for Zay Flowers and probably Rashard Bateman. But why is Derrick Henry a running style running back? How does he have more catches than your third
mm.
string wide receiver? That should never happen at all. It's Derrick Henry. You feel me? So I'm like I said, I want to
That's
make sure everybody
scheme,
clear.
bro. That's scheme,
Yeah,
bro.
so I don't disagree with you at all. That's why I want to make sure that people hear what I'm saying. I'm blaming the whole entire organization for not having the right personnel and not calling the
Mhm,
right plays. And I'm definitely going to blame the players for the fumbles, for the drop
mm,
balls, for not
mhm.
getting open for your wide receiver.
Right.
I mean for your quarterback. I'm blaming everybody except for Lamar Jackson.
Let me make sure we don't want to deep dive a little bit more. Let's see what else I got. So I have another question up here, just to play devil's advocate. Do you think Lamar's game management in crunch time has been elite or not?
Now this what I would say. Then that one that's a good question right there. I mean, does Lamar Jackson? No, when we was growing up, certain quarterbacks, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, they
Mm,
was calling their own plays. So does Lamar
right.
Jackson call his own plays?
I think in certain situations he can audible out of things, and I guess usually take off and run or make something happen. Franklin, if you still there, Chris, you can probably this is Chris in the comments. He's gonna be on the show one day. He's real good with this too, like you. Y'all will be great together in the debate room. But Chris, if you know the answer to that question, could you let us know in the comments, or anybody in the
Yeah.
comments?
So
But um I'm I'm pretty sure Todd Monken has said he's given him more responsibility as he's learned more of the playbook. So I'm thinking, if I had to assume, even though we shouldn't do that, but if I'm
mhm.
a betting man, I gamble a lot. I'm willing to throw some chips on. Yes, he calls his own plays
Okay.
sometimes. I
All right.
guess 50%.
So to answer your question, I would need him to be smarter if that's what he's doing. Because I feel like Lamar Jackson, his biggest thing, and we know he has a great arm, he has good vision, but your biggest
Mm-hmm.
thing is running. And the biggest thing for the Baltimore Ravens, period, is that they run the football, they are run the ball football type team. So I
Right.
would say like this. When it comes down, and it looked like he was getting ready to do that, bro. It looked like that they was up by like 2 touchdowns, and he was about to feed Derrick Henry for the rest of the game. And if it
Right.
wasn't for the Derrick Henry fumble, you feel me? We wouldn't be probably having this conversation. So I would just say yeah, if Lamar Jackson is making these crazy throws at the last minute and he's the one calling his own plays, yes, he has to go and take the blame. But for the most part, I believe that Lamar Jackson is trying to win no matter what. Like I said, I mean, people had that criticism. Mind you, I'm a Giants fan. People had that
Mm-hmm.
criticism on Lamar Jackson all they want. But at the end of the day, he's to me, he's the best player in the league, not Patrick Mahomes. He is. I feel like Lamar Jackson can go to any team and change that team around dramatically. Any team. You know what I mean?
Anything.
Look what he's doing. I mean, and again, we talk about the wide receiver. The reason why I also said this too, think about this. Out of all the quarterbacks in the league, his best wide receiver he ever had was Zay Flowers. We talking about Patrick Mahomes done had Tyreek Hill. We talking about Aaron Rodgers done had Devontae Adams and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you mean to tell me Lamar Jackson has won 2 MVPs, should have been 3, and he hasn't even had a superstar wide receiver yet? So
Mm-hmm.
as far as when it comes down to the end of the game, if I knew directly who was calling the plays, that's who I would point the finger at. But I think overall, when the game is locked up, Lamar Jackson try and run it and get the game over with.
In the comments, Chris said once again, Lamar has full autonomy. So yes, he can call his own plays if he can switch it up, audible. Hold on really quick. What we got here? What we got here? Come on, man. I just got a message from somebody reading this. But yeah, I had another question. Keep it hold on real quick, bro. I'm
All
sorry,
right,
but
take
he's
your time.
making
Take
great
your time.
attention.
That's what we're here for. Take your time and talk some good stuff.
Oh, my guy, he wants to call in and get some time to reply. So he wants to debate you, bro. We got our first debate lined up. I'm
Go
about
ahead.
to all right. Um while we're doing that, I did have something to say real quick with another. Do you think the front office has put enough reliable pieces around Lamar?
No, no. The reason why I say no. Think about it. And I keep saying we. That's how much you say I support the Ravens. Wasn't
Mm-hmm.
the Ravens having a top rushing attack, and they didn't have guys like Lamar. They didn't have Derrick Henry. They had running backs by committee and was still leading the league in rushing. So
Mm,
I'm going to say they relying too much on Lamar. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to Lamar Jackson. You can't get this guy one great wide receiver. I'm not taking anything away from Zay Flowers, but you can't get nobody over there that can give him some help. You just keep
right.
giving him all these tight ends, and then you finally give him a good running back in Derrick Henry. I feel like that's why I say Lamar Jackson is the best player in the league by far. All the other quarterbacks in the league have these top Pro Bowl wide receivers, this, that, and the third. And my man Lamar
Mm-hmm.
Jackson is consistently doing what he's doing. We talking about the Ravens consistently making playoffs. I think the only time they didn't make the playoffs was when Lamar Jackson was hurt. You feel me? So,
Oh
on,
yeah, when they had Snoop in it. Well,
yeah,
no, Snoop made it, but I think they got beat or something. But
yeah,
anyway,
they
go
did.
ahead,
They
go
got
ahead.
beat by the
Yeah,
Bengals. He tried to dive or something. And they
yeah,
fumbled and all that.
some crap like that. Yeah,
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 but I
yeah.
mean, yeah, I don't think they put enough around. And then we looking at it right now on when it comes to the defense. If you going to have your defense out there trying to win the game, you got to get more players and better players. This just me, and I know I'm ready for the debate on this one. This just me.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I don't fear nobody on the Ravens except for Kyle Hamilton. I'm dead serious. Them corners, them
Uh-huh.
corners, nah. Them corners, Marlon Humphreys losing it.
Mm,
Nate Wiggins, he on his way, but I really ain't seeing that. Them they even showed the what's name. Them boys was getting, excuse my language. Them boys was getting fucked up on the pass tip, just like how you said earlier. Josh, and mind you now, Josh Allen doing the same thing. Both same thing Lamar Jackson doing. Josh Allen don't got no Pro Bowl wide receivers. His best wide
right.
receiver is Gabe Davis. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying you got to do. And here go a guy who I'm a Giants fan, and I'm saying that Lamar Jackson needs help, and they need to stop playing and stop being cheap and do it. Just get a
Right,
guy some help. It's an easy
right.
championship.
Right. You on fire. I think we about to get a guest in here for our first debate, episode 1. You dig, you dig. So while we waiting for that to connect, let's go over real quick. I guess some more takeaways from this week in football before we key up you guys debate. What team looks scary to you right now? Not We're not predicting Super Bowls or anything right now, or I guess division champions. But what
Mhm.
team looks scary to you? And go ahead. I'm gonna set my man up.
Okay.
Hold real quick,
For
Chris. Can
me,
you hear me? Can you hear us, Chris? Oh, he like go ahead. He's trying to set
um,
up.
for me, the most complete team was the team I got going to the AFC Championship against the Ravens. I used to call them this. I wore number 31 because of Antonio Cromartie, so y'all know what I'm going.
Oh yeah.
Man, them Los Angeles Chargers, they look complete all the way around. That's the way how you show you're going to be one of those top teams and teams to be feared. Who you knock off? You knock off the Chiefs, the guys who
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be the modern day Patriots. The Chiefs supposed to be the modern day Patriots. We putting the cheating stuff behind their names. We seeing Patrick Mahomes looking like the pretty boy throwing the ball to whoever he want to. So I'm going to say it was the Chiefs. I'm going to say it was the Chargers. The defense was there. They got the stops when they needed to. When it come to at the end of the game or closing the game out, Justin Herbert made sure he
Mm-hmm.
ran the ball. He made sure he got the ball to the right guys. And then on top of this is what I mean when I say Lamar Jackson need a security blanket more than just Zay Flowers. Did you know that Keenan Allen only had 7? Now, and I don't mean to say only like it's bad. He had 7 catches. Out of 7 catches, 5 of those catches was on third down. The little joke that they was calling it third down in Keenan. I mean, come on, man. And then of course you know what I'm saying? And then of course Keenan Allen got in the end zone. So for me, what I saw was I saw the defense playing well, and they got no name corners, and they still
mm-hmm.
played well. They got after the quarterback as supposed to. They started to run it like they were supposed to. Travis Kelsey, he probably might need to retire. They was going man to man with Derwin James, and he was locking them up. So when you got your best defensive player locked up doing that thing, then you got all the wide receivers contributing. Quentin Johnson was contributing. Keenan Allen,
Mm-hmm.
and I ain't gonna lie, that's right. If it wasn't for my boy Malik Neighbors, Landon McConkey probably would be my wide receiver right now, literally. So that's what I gotta say. The Chargers, my bad, LA Chargers.
Yo, you got it. You got it. You got it. Hold on. I'm about to add my guy in here. Let's get browser. Uh-oh. He was waiting for this. My man's was waiting for this. D20. All right. Control and OBS. Let's see what we got. Mr. Franklin. Uh-oh. Hold on. Let me adjust your picture, brother. Let me adjust your picture.
I see everybody represent my teams. Let me put my boys up here. Let me put my boys up here. Everybody represent their teams. Let me put my boys up there.
Yeah. Hold on, Chris. Can you hear us? Hold on. We can't hear you. What's up? Hold on. Let me check your mic. Make sure we got access to your mic, bro. We can't hear you. He had that. Make sure if you're on your computer, make sure in your options. What was it again, Fox? You had to go to go to your options and make sure your input mic is whatever that is, and you just got to check out your main PC's options and shit.
Yeah.
But he'll be on there. I got you. You are leveled out. So whenever you click that, because he just had the same problem, Chris. You just got to check your computer options. Go to settings, sound, maybe, and input to make sure you got it on the right thing. But we got your picture. You are live on screen. We just got to wait for you to talk. We can't hear you now. We can't. Let me make sure your levels is down. So when you are able to talk, you won't be loud as hell. Don't worry, people. This is live broadcasting. This will happen sometime. We're gonna get that debate popping. It just worked. He'll be back in. It'll lock back up when he come back in.
So who do you got as the complete team?
Right now, the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers are. I'm not going to say that yet, but the Green Bay Packers. I see them once they got Micah. They scary, bro. They scary. I don't. They scary. Detroit ain't what they was. Detroit, they lost their offensive coordinator. I think their magic left with him. The 49ers, blah, blah. The Vikings, I saw who the Vikings were. I don't even like, once again, before I even say anything about the Vikings, I just want to show y'all this signed helmet from the national champions. You feel me? All of them. Before they won the championship, my wife bought me this for a present, and it's signed by the whole team last year. You get me? So this is my squad. So I dare not say any Michigan Wolverine player, but the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings is trash. I just want to say that. I don't say Wolverine's names, bro. So it's just like that. Hold on, let me make sure. Is he back? Oh, he can't get back. Well, I don't know what's up with him. He'll get back if he can. Yeah. So the Eagles, Philly, I think they did what they were supposed to do last year. I don't see them becoming a dynasty or anything like that. And if they meet up with the Packers, I think the NFC championship will be played in the snow. That's all I got to say. Once we get to our talks about that, I'll go a little bit more in depth. But sometimes he take risky plays and somebody costs us more. Yeah. I think Ebony is talking about Lamar. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I'm pretty heavy. I'm hedging all of my bets on the Green Bay Packers as a scary team right now. It's 16 more games, so I don't know if Jordan's going to stay healthy. Is his name Jordan? Am I forgetting his name? It's Jordan, right? Yeah. I don't know if he's going to stay. Yeah. Jordan Love. Yeah. So, all right, what you got?
No, all I was going to add is I had looked up something probably like as soon as they signed Michael Parsons, it said the last time the Packers made a signing like this, they wind up going to the Super Bowl within like the next year. You feel me? And I think it was something like that.
Who we talking about?
The Packers when they got Charles Woodson.
Oh, I thought you was about to talk about Reggie White.
Oh no. No, I was talking about like the last time the Packers had what's the name? had won a championship, it was based
Mhm.
off of them signing Charles Wilson, him building
Yeah,
the defense
yeah,
around it,
yeah.
and it's happened. And it's basically the
Mhm.
same thing. You got a young Jordan Love, some
Mhm.
solid wide receivers back there, and then we saw with Michael Parsons, he made a difference last week, and he
Yes.
even had a sack.
Yes.
So he definitely
Yes.
made a difference. So I, mean, I feel what you're saying on the Green Bay Packers.
You heard what
Like
Jerry
I said,
Jones said? Jerry Jones, like
what he
if
said.
we had one more pass rusher on our team, we could have got after the Eagles when they lost that opening game. He was like, if we
Yeah,
had a pass rusher, you got rid of your pass rusher. You feel me? You got rid of him. The
he
person
definitely
you
did.
said you needed, you got rid of him. Come on, bro. All right, but
He
yeah.
definitely did.
Um, all right, so I guess we'll have to connect with Chris another time. So topic 3 is should spitting in sports be an automatic ejection, or is it just part of trash talk gone too far? I saw this question somewhere and I was like, this is the stupidest question in the world. This
Hmm.
is in reference to Jalen Carter. Um, and that was the Eagles. No, this was in the college football incident, but we also had one in the Eagles versus Dallas where Dak spit towards a player, but it wasn't on him. It was on the ground. The name escapes me from the defensive tackle on the Eagles that spit back on Dak. I
Jalen Carter.
believe that why does it okay. Correction, you got it, bro. I screwed my script up. My bad. I was trying to run with it, but my question is, well, the statement I'm gonna make first is spitting to me is one of the highest forms of disrespect. Like, I don't care where I'm at, what room I'm in. If you spit on me and it's not a mistake and it's out of like aggression, anger, disrespect, all of that, man, it's whatever at that at that time. It's whatever. Anybody should feel that way. Grown man or woman, that's disrespect. So in an atmosphere like professional sports where testosterone is super high, this is the first game you've played, like first real game you've played. Some people don't have inner team practices, so this is the first time you've seen an opposing team since last year.
Hmm.
Aggressions are built up. This was the first play of the game after the kick. They didn't even run a play on first down, and Yo got ejected. Look, the NFL basically said he was going to get 1 game suspension, but because he didn't play the whole game, that counts as his suspension. You feel?
That
so,
was that was a good.
so my question is: there is no space, no place for someone to spit on you out of aggression unless you want everything that comes with that. I don't care where you are. That's how I feel about it.
All right. So for me, I may be a little bit old school with this, but I feel like this: if you spit on someone, you should be taken out of the league. Because you can fight. You know, if you would have hit Dak Prescott in the jaw, you would have got suspended. But everybody would have been like, "Yo, that's what comes with it." I would have punched him too. You would have had more people supporting you on that level. But the fact that you spit on this dude is definitely trifling. Here go another thing. Since we talking about the spit, Florida, this team has a thing with spitting on people. I even googled some dude named Jamari Lyons. He was a D tackle. Yo, for some reason, it's a Florida thing. These dudes are spitting in people's faces. I'm not even trying to say Jalen Carter, you right because you spit on the jersey, but these people are spitting in people's faces. Like, come on, man. And you think that you're just supposed to get the team just a penalty or suspend this dude for a couple games? I feel like this. If you spit on someone, you lose your scholarship when you're in college. If you spit on someone where there's little league or high school, you're off the team for good. If you're in the NFL, you should be off the team for good. We got to stop accepting things and this, that, and thing. Like, I ain't gonna lie, that's a total slap in the face for them to say that Jalen Carter spit on him. And because he didn't play that game, that counts as suspension. He dressed up. He was on the field. He was able to spit on that guy because he was in the game. So I mean, that's like a total disrespect. I get it because he didn't play it down. But at the end of the day, spitting on someone is never, ever, ever called for. And I'm not trying to make this a black thing or white thing, but you already know what time it is if you spit on somebody in the hood. That's your ass. So I'm not even trying to hear none of that about why it's okay at the heat of the moment. I'm into the game, so that's why it happened. I said this to my homeboy. Jalen Carter, did you know that you could have did more damage if you didn't do that spit? Think about it. If you felt disrespect that he spit towards you, you know what you could have did? You could have got a cheap shot on him during the game. And guess what they would have did? Gave you a warning, and you still in the game to do more cheap shots that you can't get away with. You can get quarterback hurries, quarterback pressures. You can get sacks. It's so many ways that you could have got Dak Prescott back, and you could have hurt him even more, putting your 300+ pound body on him. So all I would say is, man, that was uncalled for. If it was up to me, Jalen Carter, and I mean, to be fair, Jalen Carter would be suspended for the rest of the year. Y'all suspending guys off with my man Calvin Ridley. Y'all suspended him for betting. Y'all suspended Terry Rozier. You suspended him for betting. So if you getting these guys out of there for betting, you definitely got to get a guy out of there for the utmost respect. Is spitting on somebody.
My man, Chris, can you hear us first of all?
I think so. You got me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear him?
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. You got the floor, brother. Whatever you got to say.
So listen, let me preface this with this first of all. This is not attack on you, my brother. This is not me to fight. I just would
Who do
like
you
to
this
clean up
Fox?
some
You talking
stuff.
okay, Fox, Chris,
Just
Chris Fox, just to let y'all
just
know
to,
each other.
just to clean up some stuff. Now I know that I want to get your point, and I know that one thing that you spoke about was, hold on one second. The Ravens passing game in and of itself, right? So, and you talk about the talent level that the Ravens have had over, let's say, the past 5 years when they were playoff relevant since 2019, and the caliber. I do agree with you to a certain extent. I also believe that the Ravens have gone out of their way to put draft capital into the wide receiver position over that 5 year span, taking three first round draft picks at the wide receiver position: Hollywood Brown, Rashad Bateman, and Zay Flowers. Okay. Now, with that being said, when you talk about the Ravens, and this is where as a Ravens fan that I can speak to this, we are a spoiled franchise, right? We are the most successful franchise over the past 30 years with the over 55% win rate versus the rest of the league since we've been a team, which is an anomaly for an NFL team, right? Being as though you have over four, maybe five teams that have never made a Super Bowl, and we've won three in our first 3 decades. Okay. So when I say that point, the Ravens do not usually have the opportunity to draft in the top 10 because we've been good. So a caliber of player, say a Justin Jefferson, a CeeDee Lamb, a Jamar Chase, generational talents at wide receiver, we haven't had the ability to draft that player because we've been good consistently. Now, do I think that our offense also has something predicated on the fact that we underachieve from those positions? The answer is yes, because the Ravens naturally over the past 5 years with the MVP caliber quarterback play in a positive game script, right? And you play football. So when I say that is when we get on the field, 9 times out of 10, we're playing from ahead, which we run the ball, which goes into our strength at quarterback. He's a run first quarterback, but he's evolved as a passer, which makes him more dangerous. Seen in the blunder on Monday night, because that was in Buffalo, and I watched them dog walk them for 37 and a half minutes, right? So you talk about regression, Lamar Jackson, right? And you talk about him versus Josh Allen, MVP. You see what he does for the Buffalo Bills talent wise and what Josh Allen brings. The Ravens have the better offensive team, right? When we're good, Lamar's best games, or when we're dominating in football, Lamar doesn't have 300 yards passing and 4 touchdowns. Usually it's from behind. His best season statistically, or the best season statistically in NFL history, is because the Ravens played from behind in 9 of those 17 games last year, losing 5, where he had to throw 41 touchdowns against 5 picks. So I challenge you to think about it from this perspective. Jalen Hurts is now a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Okay. He threw for 2,800 yards last year, 14 rushing touchdowns, 20 passing touchdowns. It was a running back on the team that rushed for 800 yards less than he ran for. Saquon Barkley had a 2,000-yard season, and that team won the Super Bowl. What I would challenge you to think is that before you talk about the lack of wide receiver support, let's talk about what it looks like for a winning football program in the NFL. Because throwing the football 50 times in a season in a game, 9 times out of 10 means you're losing. I.e., Joe Burrow, a great statistical season, 9-8 record. Bengals constantly playing from behind, right? Fantasy football tidbit. You want to draft quarterbacks that are going to play a negative game script like a Dak Prescott this year. They're going to throw the ball a ton. You want to target that when you talk about from a stats perspective. But when you talk about winning football and what the Ravens decide that they believe that winning football is controlling the clock, running the football, and they have an athlete, an anomaly at quarterback that the league is trying to replicate throughout its teams. So we may never have that 1,900-yard passing receiver. It's not in the outcome of greatness for the team because when we've shown to be good, it's basically because we're controlling the clock and running the ball. From Harbaugh's perspective, when we get outside of that box of good play and positive game script, that's when we fall apart, shown by the lack of finishing with the 8 losses plus that we've had with double-digit leads. We don't know how to flip that switch back on, and it's bitten us in the butt. You take the NFL, you take the loss in the playoff last year. After the first quarter, the Ravens did what they wanted to get back in that game because we were the better team. One play didn't define us. Buffalo didn't turn the ball over. We did. But when Lamar had to drop back and throw the ball without Zay Flowers, Likely, Andrews, and Bateman shine. And I think that's the drawback. That's the portion of it that I want people to see. Yes, we'll never have a guy that's going to have 1,700 yards receiving and 13 touchdowns in the season. It's not winning football. It's not our brand, right? Derrick Henry's going to rush for 1,900. I mean, think about it. He almost rushed for 2,000 yards, and our quarterback threw for 4,000 and 41 touchdowns. It's not winning football, bro. It's not. Winning football, the formula is what the Eagles did. 2,800 yards passing from Jalen Hurts, domination in the goal line with the tush push, etc. And then a 2,000-yard rushing running back where they controlled the clock and they put the ball in their defense, which was great.
I
That's
gotta
what I would like
I
to
g-
get across
real
to you.
quick, I gotta interject something, Chris. Real quick. I got you, Fox.
Go
You
do you.
said those stats that you read off about Derrick Henry and Lamar, you said that isn't winning football.
It's
That
not.
was winning football, but they didn't stay consistent with that in the
Was it?
playoffs.
Was
In
it?
the
Was it?
playoffs, it always changes in the playoffs.
Again, and I take you to that win in that Buffalo game. How many
Mhm.
rushing yards did Derrick Henry have? About 67. The Ravens were out of positive game script at the second quarter, 8-minute mark. We had to throw the ball to get back in that game. We were down a touchdown. People say we should have gave the ball to Henry more. If you think that that's not something that should have happened, go back to the Chiefs game. We started
Mhm.
off running the ball with Henry, right? We got down a touchdown. Next thing you know, we started throwing the ball to try to get back in the
Oh, I
game.
think I think I think I might have misunderstood you because I'm saying we should have ran the ball more. We got away from that in my mind.
Should,
So is that
but
what you're
but
saying?
but my question is how when you're down, you have to throw the ball to make up for lost time. Running the ball does what? Run the clock.
Well,
When you
okay, maybe
complete
what I want to
passes and
say.
you get first downs and you get
Mhm,
incompletions, you save time on the clock. That's
I
why
got
they
you.
call it negative game script because you're coming from behind.
So now I'm gonna tell you a couple things that you said that kind of help my point right real quick.
Okay.
So was I because I want to make sure I'm clear what I'm saying. Am I saying that the Ravens need to have this super dynamic receiver and all that? No, you already have that in Zay Flowers. What I'm saying is Zay Flowers supporting cast need to back him up more. So what I'm saying is prime example. If if we were just talking about earlier, Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is now a security blanket for Justin Herbert. That's what I said I want the Ravens to have as a wide receiver instead of always relying on your tight ends. We have seen this several times, even this game that just passed. Mark Andrews was on lock. When Mark Andrews is on lock, he's technically the second best receiver. With likely not playing, he's the second best receiver after Zay Flowers. And what I'm saying is, when Mark Andrews is not getting open, that's when I need you to step up, Rashard Bateman. That's when I need these other guys. I'm not asking you to have 1,000 yards and this, that, and third, but I'm asking you to step up and do your thing. Now, there's another thing that you added. You see how you mentioned the Eagles and how they ran the ball and this and the third. You saw the Super Bowl, right? They shut Saquon Barkley down. When they shut Saquon Barkley down, guess what happened? Those other two wide receivers stepped up. Devontae Adams scored a touchdown. AJ Brown scored a touchdown. That's the only thing I'm saying is like when the main thing that the Ravens have gets shut down, the other guys need to step up. And I'm looking at Rashad Bateman's stats on a regular. I'm looking at these third string guys' stats on a regular. Like Derrick Henry had more catches than all the wide receivers. That should never happen in any way. I'm just saying like this. If Lamar Jackson had probably at least Derrick Mason, I ain't even gonna say nobody stuff. If he had Derrick Mason on his team right now with Zay Flowers and everything, I would trust it even more. Like, okay, I'm about to get sacked. I got a security I can throw it to anytime. I don't even think the Ravens have like a guaranteed guy they can give it to every time on third down, unless it's one of them tight ends. And then we starting to see it now. These tight ends is getting, well, Mark Andrews, I can't say anything about likely, but these tight ends is getting locked up. And I'm just saying, I would like to see more from Rashad Bateman. I would like to see more from the third string wide receiver. It get tiresome. And I know you probably feel this way when Lamar Jackson is standing in the backfield, just waiting to find somebody to get open. If Zay not open and tight end's not open, nobody else getting open. You feel me? And then when I see a lot of Rashad Bateman's touchdowns, no disrespect to him, it'd be a lot of the breakdown of the defense. I don't even think it's been a time where we've seen Rashad Bateman destroying people on routes. He mossing people. A lot of the times it'd be he wide open, a breakdown in coverage, somebody not doing this thing like. And another thing I guess gotta add, I can ask both of y'all right now, y'all Ravens fans. A Baltimore Raven wide receiver is not even in y'all top 50. And unless you're just a diehard fan, they not a Baltimore Ravens wide receiver is not even in your top 50. The average person who everybody who went in football,
DeAndre Hopkins.
That don't count. But I got you. That don't count. But I got you. I got you. But my whole point of what I'm saying is I'm not saying anything bad. Like I'm really like saying that the Ravens can't go far. That's my pick to go to the Super Bowl every year. I'm just saying is Lamar Jackson need help. I'm calling this guy. You named all the stats that he had. Lamar Jackson has his best season in all his stats with nobody wide receivers. We talking about right now his best wide receiver of all time that he ever had was Zay Flowers, and he's a multi-time MVP. And so all I'm saying is when those guys can't get open, give it to somebody else. I think when y'all played in against the Bills, I think it was, I don't even know who was that other wide receiver y'all had. He probably not even on the Ravens no more, who had a couple catches and a touchdown and all that. That should have been Rashad Bateman. That should
It
have been
was Tylen Wallace, and Bateman had 80 yards in that game and a
Oh, yeah,
touchdown.
80 yards in that game. Oh, all right.
And a
But I'm
touchdown.
saying, all right, okay. But I'm saying
It
other
was
than
him. It was Likely that scored the last touchdown. Bateman had a receiving touchdown and a deep pass that he caught in that game, and he had a couple drops too. But and then Andrews mainly with the two fumbles and the drop is the fumble that he had in the drop.
Real quick, guys. We getting up against it. Hey, Chris, you welcome to come back next week. This is a Thursday show, but we came to an agreement that we're gonna keep this as an hour. But what I want to end this conversation with, just to push us on, this game that the Ravens are playing against the Browns this Sunday is the celebrating 30 years of Baltimore Ravens franchise. It came out that the people in Cleveland are very upset about that. Do you think we should have skipped a week and did it next week, or do you think Cleveland just needs to get over it? We're going to end with this. What y'all think about that?
You can roll. I can go first. You let me know. It's up to you. I'll let you. Okay, so the history of the Baltimore Ravens is mocked, right? We know where the team came from. It came from Cleveland. Much to the chagrin of the Cleveland Browns, Art Modell essentially wanting a new stadium, blah, blah, blah. The Ravens leave in 96, whatever. Cleveland Municipal Stadium at the time was a shit show, to say the least. Baltimore promised him a stadium, hence we have M&T Bank and the shutdown, which is now a old folks home, much to the chagrin of us at work, EP, up there off of 33rd Street, right? So, yes, I could see where the fans want to be and they upset because we're doing it in their face. And yeah, but who cares, right? We talk about a franchise that outside of the 50s and the 80s that have been 9 times out of 10 the boot scrum of the NFL that just haven't gotten it right. And you talk about franchises making mistakes necessarily from a player perspective. Cleveland is definitely has their woes when we talk about overall winning. And I'll leave that at that. From that, 30 years is one thing to take a team from somebody. But I believe that if you ask any NFL owner if they needed to start a franchise, and I'm not just saying that because it's my team, but this goes to a point that I made in the last segment. I believe that every franchise owner would take the 30 years the Ravens had over any start in the NFL history. When I say that the Ravens fan base is a spoiled fan base, I mean that 55% of the all of the games you played in the season are wins. When the next closest is like 54.5, which is leading the NFL all time, which means that shows the success of your team. Winning two Super Bowls in your first 30 years, you have some teams that have never been to a Super Bowl, some teams who haven't been in 30 years to a Super Bowl, plus more. I just think that it's just one more thing, one more box check for the fans of Cleveland to be upset with us, all while having a new team, all while building a new stadium for said new team with a projected new stadium to come in 2030, where's a dome. And I think that they just spoiled. I mean, took the team for what? As a true fan, we did y'all a favor. We did y'all a favor. This is the same team that had Nick Saban and Belichick on the same roster and didn't think as coaches and didn't think to extend them as their head coaches and their defensive coordinator back in 1993. They made them play on a 1-year deal. Make them
Real
coach on
quick,
a
Chris.
1-year deal.
Real quick, yes or no? Do you is to before we kick it to Fox? Do you think John Harbaugh needs to be fired? Is this it for him?
My answer will always be no to that. I just don't, and it's one reason. A, because I think that he's a great manager of the team, regardless of some of the points that the
Mhm,
team in and of itself, the functionality of an NFL football team, I believe
mhm,
he is elite at that. And it's
mhm,
been stated about how good the coaching staff consistently is with the
mhm,
few years that we had with our strength and conditioning coaches, but even
mhm.
that's been rectified since. Two, with John Harbaugh being here so long, I always ask the question, who should come? Mike McDonald, and I heard your comments about Mike McDonald. I think he's a phenomenal defensive coordinator. I
Mhm.
also think that the Seahawks have not replicated anything that he did with the roster in Baltimore
Mhm.
since that golden year. I just don't
Mhm.
see a path where we can find someone else that will eat, because you got to remember to specialize coordinate. Like if we go as the
I
Ravens,
remember
do we
saying
take
this
a
was a yes or
defensive
no
coach?
question, Chris.
Right,
This
because
was a
you got to
oh,
think.
you
Do,
got to
do
get
you,
in
you got to
depth with
think.
it.
It's one more thing. I'm gonna say
I
this and
got
then
you.
I'll
I
give
got
my. So the answer is
you.
no, and I'll
Uh-huh.
pose you with this question: if we lose Harbaugh, would it be an offensive coach or a defensive coach to run the team? And I'll leave it at that because that's a decision that you'll have to make.
We gonna continue this. Fox, you
All
can
right,
you can
start off
you
with Cleveland.
can do your last statement and take us out of here.
All right, so I'm gonna start off with the Cleveland thing. It sounds like some baby shit to be real with me. Every team in the league has some type of anniversary or celebrates someone somehow, some way. So for them to be complaining about it is kind of mediocre to me. The only other thing that I can feel them on, unless the Cleveland Browns are saying this, you took our team and that could have been our 2 championships in 30 years. That's the only thing they could be saying out their mouth. But the average Cleveland Browns fan, and I know a few, they don't like Baltimore at all. So this is definitely strange to me to hear this conversation. And then for the question about John Harbaugh, I'm kind of on Chris's side on this one thing right here. If you get rid of John, who's going to come in? I want to hear some candidates like that.
This is the thing that kills me. I don't want to heat this up. I'm sorry, Fox, you can finish. But I get tired of people saying you don't need Bill Belichick to come in here. With our roster, you can coach, insert coach. We
I mean,
just we just need we need a different voice. But I get what y'all saying. I just been on this. We've John Harbaugh has been on the hot seat 2 times before, and it
mhm.
took Lamar to have a damn near perfect game for him to be exposed again this week. So that's all I want to say. I don't want to keep rehashing it because
No, you
we
good.
could we could have a whole another hour about this.
Yeah, I'm not saying this as far as like his success with the team. I'm not saying like who else can do that. I'm saying who else got that Ravens I guess pumping purple out them? Who else could push those guys? Now, if you was to say, like, prime example, let's just say Mike Tomlin job was on the line. I would definitely love to have Mike Tomlin in Baltimore. I believe Baltimore can get 2 more rings immediately. They probably be the favorites to win it if they had a Sean McVay, guys like that. So I'm just saying, like, far as like, if I see any candidates out there who like worth it, even coming from college or NFL, then yeah. But I mean, I don't hear no names out there. That's the only reason why I'm saying that, because I don't hear no names right there who's like, I don't hear nobody who's on the bubble like this guy's about to be. He's a good defensive coordinator all year. He's about to be a coach next season. Now, if I heard somebody like that, like prime example, maybe Brian Leftwich, a guy like that, you feel me, who been in the league. So if you going to mention people like that,
Byron Leftwich.
no,
Byron, he
I'm
was
just
all right for Tampa, but
no, I'm just using
Oh, he's a
examples.
phenomenal offensive coordinator,
okay,
my
okay.
brother.
Yeah,
Phenomenal offensive coordinator.
yeah, and I'm just using examples. Like, if I don't hear nobody, like, I haven't even heard probably in a minute, probably like in like 2 years maybe, where it's like some major guy who was killing on offense or some major guy who was a good defensive coordinator, and now he has a job somewhere, this, that, and the third. Like, so if I heard a major name, I would definitely say go ahead, bring him to Baltimore, because I ain't gonna lie. Now, this is just me. I'd rather have Jim as the coach for the Ravens than John. That's just me.
Hey, on that note, unless y'all got anything else to say, Chris, you can come back next week because I think Fox got some good subtopics next week that'll get y'all even more debatey. It'll be like, I don't want to say trademark first take, but you got it.
First of all, subjectively, Fox, salute, brother, because you're spot on. Again, that was my fandom talking as a Ravens fan, but I am well versed in the stats, football, fantasy football,
Yeah.
as E knows, the numbers portion of it is my thing. So I think
That's
it'll
why I
be a
brought
good
him in.
yin to
I knew
yang.
y'all was gonna be
For
good.
sure. For sure. But he's spot on. Other
Yeah.
than that, and look, man, I'm from
That-
Jersey. Originally, I was born there. So the first football team that I was exposed to was the Giants when the Ravens didn't have a team. So I feel you from that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's we have that in common. But as you can see,
right.
That's my Super Bowl pick every year. I'm not gonna
you
lie,
know,
Ravens.
And we
so is
promise
mine. I just
everybody,
wish they show up one
we're
day.
not going to just keep talking about the Ravens, but we very heated about. I mean, we very passionate about the home team.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody for stopping through. Check out the pod on Sundays. It's the level, 11:30 a.m. That's the main pod. But the sports joint next Thursday, TLSN will be back 6:30 p.m. YouTube, Twitch. Appreciate Chris, my man Fox, Bruce. Follow us all. We out.
See y'all next week, baby.